So this is going to be another fanfiction review, but this time around I'm actually going to be doing a review of a fanfiction that one of my YouTube friends, Jason Voorhees 2011, again, go check him out, he does some really cool fan trailers. This is a story he's been writing. Now, there's a bit of a story behind it, is that a while back he told me that he had this really cool idea for Transformers and Avatar crossover, where he basically, you know, told me this idea. I was like, oh, yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah, cool, you should totally revisit it someday. He's like, I don't know, maybe I will. A few weeks ago, he told me that he decided to revisit the idea and redo the story, and he posted the first chapter, and I, went to go read it, and I've been reading it ever since. It's been really interesting. The story is that pretty much how Jason Voorhees does it, it's kind of like a typical go to another universe, but they actually, it actually kind of gives some explanation rather than random portal shows up and then they get teleported to that world. It involves the space bridge, and I'm kind of okay when fanfiction uses space bridge because, space bridge can send you anywhere in the universe. So it pretty much starts off with Optimus leading an attack on a suicide attack on Kaon to stop Megatron from, launching the space bridge. Not launching, but basically having the space bridge complete, and the Autobots attack, and what happens next is basically Starscream fucks everything up, and everyone goes to the world of the Four Nations, and it's Earth, but it's Earth before the Autobots ever came, and I'm sitting here thinking, that's clever, show up in a time when, the Autobots, weren't supposed to appear on Earth, way earlier before than they should have. I'm okay with that. That's a good explanation. And it starts off with Optimus finding his way to the original group, the gang, Aang, Sokka, Katara, Toph, and all of them. And this comes pretty much, Optimus has ended up right when the Earth King, this ends up takes place right after Lake Laogai. And Optimus, meets them, and rather than, the age-old, oh, I'm going to attack you because you look like a giant metal thing, it's more like, hey, I'm Optimus Prime, we're cool, and let me go help you save the Earth King, because I'm Optimus Prime, but I'm just cool like that. Again, I really do like this story. I like how it kind of ties in with a lot of the episodes and how the Autobots interact. Like I said, it pretty much delves with Optimus Prime for the first part, and then eventually down the road, next chapter following is that we get Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Warpath, and the Autobots are scattered all over the world, in the world of the Four Nations, and we'll see them later on. But for the most part, it did focus on, because in the newer chapters we get Ratchet, Breakaway, and Sea Spray later on. I mean, the newest chapter, but for the most part, through the last episodes of... It basically follows the last two episodes of... Book 2, Season 2 with the Earth Kingdom, and it delves around, the crossroads of destiny, and how the Autobots and Decepticons handle that. And it does have only Optimus, Bumblebee, Warpath, and Ironhide as the only Autobot allies the kids have. Meanwhile, Starscream has got together, a few Decepticons, excuse me. He's got Soundwave, Thundercracker, Skywarp, and Soundwave's cassettes. Rumble, Frenzy, Laserbeak, Ravage, and a few others. And later on, we also get Knockout as well. This is Jason Voorhees does something very interesting here. He kind of mixes G1 with the Prime universe. He isn't really using a set Transformers universe for this one. And I think that's kind of interesting that he's pretty much mixing the Prime and G1 universe together and blending it into his own way and kind of manipulating it in how he sees fit. So yeah. But yeah, later on, we get a alliance between, the Fire Nation Decepticons have made an alliance because Starscream believes that, hey, we're on the winning, we fight for the winning side, they also have the more energy sources, and, we're giant robots, we can totally take guys who shoot fire at us, we can, if they, want to piss out on us, okay, we'll blow their shit up, that's totally cool. And Megatron, who later shows up, he's pretty much okay with the plan, too, is that, alright, we'll work with them for the time being, but, if they get out of hand, we'll blow them up. Yeah, I know I sound very disjointed in this review, but you have to understand, by the time I'm making this, it's almost 3 a.m. where I am, but I figured I'd, knock this out already. But yeah, this is a really cool story. I like the interaction between the Autobots and how, Jason works together, the the Autobots, interacting with the kids, and how, Starscream interacts with Azula, because Starscream and Azula working together, go figure, huh? And also we have a few other scenes, and I've also been helping him co-plot some of the ideas. I'm not co-writing, but I'm helping him with some of the ideas to go along with it. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I've been helping him, think out where you'd see an Autobot and where you'd see a Decepticon. He does intend on making Dreadwing from the Transformers Prime universe a big part. So, yeah. He does intend using Dreadwing in a very interesting way, so I won't spoil that if you're interested in reading. As always, guys, I will leave the link for those who want to read it below. But yeah, this is a really interesting story. I like where it's going. It's going to follow in depth with, like I said, it does take place in the last 2 episodes of Book 2, but it's mostly going to focus on during the events of Book 3, Fire. So that's when you're more or less going to see, that's where the main interaction is, and where we're going to see the other Autobots. And I'm curious to see how he's going to do the Day of Black Sun with the Autobots allied with the Earth, with the Earth Kingdom invasion force. And I'm wondering where he's going to take that, because we basically planned out something towards the end of the war, rather than, and I'll clue you in this much, is that rather than a bunch of Fire Nation balloons attacking, think of it like this: Constructicons merge to form Devastator. There you go. But anyway, yeah, like I said, if you're interested in reading it, go check out the link below. I think it's pretty good. And yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this fanfiction review, and I'm out.